Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the story of an infant found in the filthiest home ever. This baby was surrounded by rotting flesh and trash. You won't believe how bad this situation was until you see the photos and hear all of the details. Authorities received a call from a neighbor who had been smelling a foul odor coming from inside the house for some time. She said she even saw insects flying around the house, and that the lawn had become overgrown with weeds and garbage. But no one had dared to step foot into the home in months, because no one knew what could be lurking inside. So authorities decided to investigate further. As they got closer to the house, they noticed that there was trash piled up all over the front yard, and the windows were covered in what appeared to be human feces. As they walked closer, they also started to notice flies buzzing around. It was clear that something wasn't right here. So without wasting any more time, they kicked open the front door and stepped inside. What they found next was so shocking and disturbing that they would never forget it. The stench hit them as soon as they opened the door. It was like nothing they had ever smelled before. They couldn't see anything at first because their eyes were struggling to adjust to the dim lighting. But as they made their way through the house, they began to see piles of trash stacked against the walls, rotten food, garbage bags filled with who knows what, and insects crawling everywhere. The officers described the home as a biohazard with human feces smeared all over the walls, floors, and furniture. There were thousands of insects flying around, making it almost impossible to breathe. It was clear that no human being should ever have to live in such a disgusting place. But amid the trash and the filth, they spotted something that broke their hearts. In the corner of one room, they found a makeshift crib made out of a dresser and a TV stand with a dirty mattress on top. And lying on the mattress was an infant, completely covered in bugs and dirt. When the officers got closer, they realized that the baby was still breathing. But they couldn't tell if he was crying, because it was hard to hear over the sound of the buzzing flies. They quickly scooped him up and cradled him in their arms to keep him warm, as his little body was freezing cold when they first found him. It was then that they noticed that the baby's skin was crawling with insects, and that his clothes were filthy and torn. His hair was matted with dirt, and his nails were long and dirty. It was clear that this baby had been neglected and abandoned by his parents, and he was lucky to be alive. As the officers rushed him outside to be taken to the hospital, they heard the most heartbreaking sound. The baby was crying for his mother, but all anyone could offer him was a stranger's comfort. No one could have imagined that a baby could be living in such squalor, surrounded by rotting flesh and garbage, yet still be alive. It was a miracle that he had survived, and everyone involved in the rescue operation was amazed by his strength and resilience. To make matters worse, they found his two older brothers, ages 7 and 8, wandering around the neighborhood. Apparently, they had been doing odd jobs for neighbors in exchange for food, as they hadn't eaten in days. They were both malnourished and dirty, but thankfully they were unharmed. After the boys were taken into custody, neighbors came forward and admitted they had seen the children begging for food, while the parents seemed completely oblivious. As the full extent of the situation became clear, social workers and medical professionals worked tirelessly to save the baby's life. He had severe insect bites all over his body, and his skin was covered in dirt and feces. It took hours to clean him up and remove the insects from his body, but as he slowly began to recover, his strength and resilience became more apparent. The doctors and nurses were amazed by the progress he made, and they worked hard to ensure that he would make a full recovery both physically and emotionally. Meanwhile, his two older brothers were taken in by Child Protective Services and placed in foster care. They had suffered greatly at the hands of their parents, but they were determined to make a full recovery. With the help of therapy and a loving support system, they would eventually be able to move on from the trauma of their past. The investigation into the parents led to their arrest, and they were charged with multiple counts of child endangerment and neglect. It was clear that they had put their children in extreme danger and caused them lifelong trauma. But the story doesn't end there. After the parents were brought to justice, the community rallied together to support the three boys. Donations poured in from all over the country, and local businesses provided food, clothing, and other necessities. It was a heartwarming display of generosity and compassion, and it showed that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. The baby, who had been named David by the doctors, became the face of a campaign to raise awareness about child neglect and abuse. His story touched the hearts of millions of people, and inspired them to get involved and make a difference. As David grew older, he underwent regular checkups with his doctors to monitor his physical and emotional health. With the love and support of his new family, he thrived and blossomed. He learned to walk, talk, and explore the world around him with curiosity and wonder. Looking back on his journey, it's hard to believe that he ever faced such adversity. Today, David lives with a foster family, who are in the process of adopting him. They provide him with the love, care, and attention that he deserves, and he has a bright future ahead of him. The two older brothers also found loving homes with foster families, who are helping them heal from their traumatic past. They continue to receive therapy and counseling to help them cope with the abuse they endured, but they are making great strides towards recovery. The community continues to rally around the boys, providing them with the support they need to thrive. Local businesses have donated school supplies, clothing, and other necessities, and community members regularly volunteer their time to help out. In the years since the rescue, efforts have been made to prevent other families from suffering the same fate. Social services have increased their outreach to families in need, and the community has come together to create a network of support for parents and children. It's a long road to recovery, but with the help of a community that cares, the three boys have a chance at a better future. If you know any families who are struggling, please reach out and offer your support. Even the smallest gesture can make a big difference. Together, we can create a community where all children feel loved, cared for, and safe. The story of the three brothers is a tragic reminder of the importance of child protection. It's a stark reminder of the abuse and neglect that happens every day. But it's also a testament to the strength and resilience of children. These three boys faced unimaginable horrors, but they survived, and they're now on the road to recovery. Let's honor their courage by continuing to fight for the protection of children everywhere. Before we go, take a moment to appreciate the heroes in this story. The officers, social workers, and medical professionals who saved these children's lives. Their bravery and compassion made a real difference and gave these kids a chance at a better future. So what do you think about this case? How could a family let their kids live in such unsanitary conditions? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please share your opinion. Also, if you liked this video, do not forget to leave us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories.